Welcome along to round 10 of this F1 Manager season with Williams, bringing Williams back to the front. Well, that's the hope, unless we get sacked, but you never know. If you're joining us first time in round 10 in Austria, we are currently sat, as you can see, P6 in the championship, having scored 15 points, and we are aiming to try and catch Alpine maybe, who are 12 points ahead in P number 5. A lot of our upgrades are now done for the season. We've got some points on the board, and we're going to focus on trying to basically have warehouse stock of our current parts. But as you will see, if we go into development, we are now well and truly on our way to looking at next season. You can see all our floor time going onto the underfloor, and we're going to try and set us up nicely for next season. We've got some stock coming as well for chassis rear wings lovely rear wings and suspension, just in case. You never know, Theo Porsche tends to like to stack it. And let's kick on. It is Austrian GP, and it is a sprint weekend, so this is going to be interesting indeed to see what we can do. Obviously, we're now scoring pretty much in the points most races, so if we can do that again, we're going to be in a massive chance of a decent result. So let's skip through to qualifying and let's see if we can get through to Q3 maybe. So here we go then, qualifying, and there is a chance of the old rain here later on in the session, so we do want to get our times in relatively quickly. So rubber is very low, but we are going to send out our drivers, get a time in so that we can come back out and look at repeating, because if there's this rain that's coming out, I mean, everybody flooding out, as you can see. We're in a bit of traffic, and we're going to have to try and clear this, but I don't think we are. Hopefully they do phase back out and create a gap. We've got Albon there, we've got Porsche halfway round. Everybody trying to get that early lap in. And as we look to start our flying lap, we've got a good enough gap between the two. We're going to get a slipstream from the AlphaTauri as well. Porsche has got another AlphaTauri in front of him, so hopefully that's not going to hurt us too much. For everyone with eyes on the weather, that is for sure right now. And we're going to need to make sure that we do get through as we look to set the grid. But Albon is right behind. He's gone purple in the first sector, and that's because of that DRS slipstream that he's getting. And I think we're probably going to end up losing time here, because we're going to get held up badly by this AlphaTauri. We are quicker by far. And who is it that is struggling out there? Yuki Tsunoda's ahead of Porsche, so it's not him, it's Nick de Vries. And look at us, we are so at the back side of that AlphaTauri. It's a 16.6 and a 29.2. Porsche is going to do a 16.8, so not as quick. And here comes a potential move. Oh my god, look at that. We are definitely losing time here. But, well, I mean, we've got to be quicker than that AlphaTauri, that's for sure. As he crosses the line, and he goes 4 tenths off the Aston Martin, and that is being held up a lot as well. 29.2 for the middle sector. What about Porsche, who was a couple of tenths down? Let's see what sort of time he can do as he comes across now. 29.0, 2 tenths quicker than Albon. So Albon's dropping massively, and I feel like we're going to have to go again because we were held up. But Porsche is going to come across. I mean, yeah, well off the pace. Look, Hulkenberg there, look, P9. And he crosses the line, Porsche, and goes P14. So not a brilliant sprint qualifying so far in this Q1. And now we're going to get these back in. Weather? Oh, it's coming. It is coming. We're going to have to get these straight back out, because that rain is on its way. Porsche might get caught out here. We need to reconfigure Albon and get him going. Here we go. Fresh tyres going on. Weather is coming soon. We know that. We're going to reconfigure and get these back out. Everyone is in the pits. Let's send Albon straight away. Fast forward and get Porsche ready to go. We've got to get out. We've got to get these laps in. You can see everyone is now starting to make moves. We need a better lap though. I mean, we might get stuck with Albon because he's going to be out of sync. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. He's just coming down middle of the track at the moment. Pourchaire's coming out as well, and that rain isn't far away at all. So that's why we've gone early. Give us another chance as well. But Alex Albon, I mean, it almost looks like it's raining already. It's not. And everyone is filtering out now as well. So we might get stuck in a bit of traffic here with Albon. Hopefully they can get out quick enough. They're all filtering out slowly. Pourchaire's not going to be in a bad, and Albon's took his time. That's going to help us, but I don't like the look of that at all. This section of cars could cause us a lot of pain. Albon's going to start his lap, and it might be okay because we've got the Mercedes coming out. And there is the Mercedes. If we can just keep to, I mean, he's going to navigate that well. Pourchaire's going to be fine. Rain coming in 3 minutes, and the Alfa Romeo gets out of the way. 16.7 for the first sector. Needs to improve, Alex Albon, if he wants to have a chance. He got held up massively in the middle, so we're going to be hoping for some improvement. Pourchaire is ready on his flying lap. He is now go, go, go here in Q1. We've got a lot of time to find as well. Don't like the look of this. Albon's got cars ahead as well, and they both get out of the way. It's green middle sector. He looks like he's going very slow, and it's the Red Bull in the way. God, I wish they give time management, time penalties. But Albon's got a lot of time to find. 28.8 through the middle. And a 16.7 compared to a 16.7 for Pourchaire. Albon crosses the line. Where does he go? Oh my God, how has he not improved? How are we struggling so bad? We're going to have to go again. I mean, oh wow, he's almost stopped the car. Get back in the pits, Albon. Pourchaire's improving, but still not improving that much. 16.7, 16.7, 28.9, 28.8. Oh my God, Albon is not even going to get back round. Why is he almost stopped? Get back to the pits, man. As he does come across the line. Pourchaire up to 8th. What a lap. You can see Albon's was just a terrible lap. And it is starting to rain. I don't think we're going to get faster times. I think Albon could be out here. He could be out. I mean, I'm going to send him anyway because he's got nothing to lose. We're going to have to send him straight away as well. Pourchaire could be okay here. And I don't think I'm going to... I mean, Williams coming together there pretty much. Can't send him out. Is that because it's only wets only? Oh, it's because we can't reconfigure him, of course. So Albon's out. The rain is 0.35. Do we send Pourchaire?
Focus on tyres.
I mean, it's only 0.4 millimeters. We're going to send anyway. Why not? And let's see what happens. So we're the only car out there. We have got, I mean, it's 0.66. I can't see us improving. I think Albon's going to be out, but we're sending him in clean air. And we're just going to risk it. It's still a dry track because his DRS is enabled. Hopefully we don't risk the cars here. But we're through the first corner. Didn't have to. I don't think we had to send Pourchaire at all. But I have anyway. We're a second, and it's a 16.9 for the first sector. So Albon's still not improving. Obviously the track being still dry, but with wet on there. I think this is probably an issue now. We've only got to find 3.5 temps. Is it an Albon nightmare in qualifying? Because Pourchaire's released the true pace. And what does 17.5? So this is getting a little bit tricky for the drivers now. And I don't think we're going to be improving. We come through the middle, 29.9. And yeah, it is going to be signed, sealed and delivered for Alex Albon to be out. We'll follow him through. Hopefully he doesn't crash based on the risk that we took. It looked pretty sketchy, but across the line he comes. He does improve in the last sector, but it is not good enough. It's only P18. And Porsche, he's going to come across. He's going to look safe. And that is disappointing for Albon, with the faster car as well. It's 0.95 millimetres of rain at the minute, still going up. Porsche is well off the pace. Yeah, 20.0. What's the rover doing? It's going to be pretty steady. This is not good for our chances. And it is now a damp track, so we're not going to get another lap in here in Austria for Q1. So a difficult qualifying session with the rain. Albon didn't get his lap in. He deserved to go out in the end, P18. Theo actually got into the top 10. So we'll take that, and that gives us a good chance. I mean, sadly, Albon just didn't get it together. So, Q2 is upon us. We're going to see what the weather's going to be like in this one as well. So let's take a look. And it's going to get pretty wet, as you can see. So let's send. We've got to send straight away. Everyone is starting to come out, as you can see. I didn't even send Porsche. And we are in between the Mercedes and the Alpine. Nice little camera. We're ready for Q2. So what can Mr. Porsche do? With rain coming in 4 minutes, he's maybe only got one chance of this. And it's down to the rookie to deliver. And the rear wing is open. Who have we got ahead? Pierre Gasly, our Alpine competitors, who we're trying to track down in the championship. And let's have a look what we can do. Can we get ahead of them? DRS open as we come into the end of sector 1. It's a green for sector 16.8. Dry track for another 3 minutes or so until that rain comes in. Maybe one more attempt at this, but it's going to be tricky. We've got to nail this first time round. What was the sector done by Pierre Gasly? He was quicker by a tenth. Ocon was slightly quicker as well. As we come through the middle sector, Porsche does a 29.0. I mean, Pierre Gasly with a 28.9. Oh, it's going to be close, this. They are going to be close with the Alpines. Porsche around the final 2 corners. What sort of lap time can he do? He looked like he was going wide, keeps it on board. And as we cross the line, 104.2 for Gasly. It's not a great lap. We are 5 tenths, 6 tenths off the pace. We are even behind Nico Hülkenberg. So it is raining again, and it looks like with not having put a great lap in, we are going to potentially be out. And we've sent Porsche because he's already about to start his lap. So we kind of risked it straight out, and it's going to come down to this. The track is getting quite wet now, so the chances are we are not making it through this session. You can see it's supposed to ramp up all the way through as well. Track's not changed to damp yet, so DRS still available. But it could be a Q2 and a Q1 elimination for us. 17.4 I think is well off the pace in that first sector. No one's going to be improving. You can see Piastri just getting out the way. And Norris out there on the intermediates. So this is not going to improve. I think it's going to be early curtains for everybody here. As another wet track looms, and the track has now changed to damp, so that is not good for us. I think we might as well. It's a 31.5, and I think we're going to call the car in. We are not improving, and that is going to see potentially the end of our qualifying session. So that is out Q2, and as you can see, we just didn't have the pace. We have got a slower car now. Top speed could be why, but we just never got it together. It's going to be a P14 and a P18 start, and qualifying gets Charles Leclerc taking pole position ahead of the 2 Red Bulls and Carlos Sainz in P4 on his season. Saturday expected to be cloudy for the sprint, and then look at that, on Sunday heavy rain. So we'll get through practice, we'll come back and we'll see what we can do in the sprint race. So let's get ready. 24 laps of Austria. We've gone mediums, and I think so many people else will also go mediums because softs don't look like they've got the durability for the sprint. And we are away. Let's check them tyres. Everybody to mediums. Everyone to mediums. And we are racing. We've got Albon P18, Porsche P14. They're going to get through nicely. Yellow flag though, and that's a potential crash.
Contact at turn 1.
There is contact. Can't see anybody off. And there is debris. Let's have a look. Multiple cars involved. Esteban Ocon P6 in the Alpine. Is he going to run in back of the Ferrari? Oh no, it's Alonso, or at least the Aston Martin, that gets driven into. But no danger so far. They are still running. And we have got Albon and Porsche up to P13. And it was Alonso who got tagged. But the Alpine are gaining good points at the moment. Bearing in mind it's still very small points. It is still no rain as well, which is good. So we're going to keep these pushing. And the time penalty for Lance Stroll it was. Lance Stroll who drove into Pierre Gasly, who gets a 5-second penalty. No pit stops expected. We expect to run cleanly to the end. And in this car, can we get through the field? Norris is struggling early on. He's lost already a second to Alonso ahead of him, who's right on the backside of Magnussen.
DRS is enabled.
And DRS is enabled. And look at that, we've got Albon right behind
Next car back is Zhou.
the Alfa Romeo. And is he going to make a move here? Into turn 1. It's going to be a lunge. He sends it, and he gets the move done. It's Albon into P17. Both of them have got DRS, and here comes Porsche round the outside. Can he make the move stick? He's going to be squeezed, and he's going to get a good exit, and I think he does. And he does. He's ahead of Norris up to P12. A long way to go to get points. We definitely want to be finishing in a top 8. But at the moment, we are looking pretty good. And Albon's got Bottas. That sees us into P12 and now P17, making slight moves. But can we close down even more? We're going to have to look at fuel at some point. Gasly's the sole Alpine scoring at the moment. But we're going to leave these just running hard. We're going to get the neutral power for the ERS. And Albon, Porsche has pulled clear nicely of Norris. And here comes an Aston Martin and a Haas into the first corner. Alonso has got him as he comes back through. And we are just going to leave Porsche pushing because he has got a second. And there's a chance he can use DRS against the Haas. Our rivals in the championship. Both of them have got DRS open. We've got to watch the fuel. But we will start to cut down. I mean, look at that. That don't look great, does it? At all. That looks a bit better. And now what we'll do is we will just convert down, and nearly a move there. Let's cut back down both cars because we're in a pretty good position. We've got pretty good pace. Porsche now just 2 tenths, less than a tenth at stages behind the Haas, and the Haas is nearly a second out of DRS as well, 9 tenths. So we should get, and that's a second now, but will he get DRS? Has he just... He doesn't get DRS. We do. And this is going to carry on all the way up until the end of the first sector. Can Porsche get the job done? We're not just going to leave tyres and fuel. We should get a speed advantage. It's down to 2 tenths. 1 tenth now goes to the right hand side to take the inside line. And Porsche does get through. I mean, the Haas will probably get a run, but we've still got that DRS open. And we're in. He's happy with that. He is happy. Albon's in P16. McLaren and a Haas, Piastri and Hulkenberg ahead. And then 2 are slowing each other up, which has given us a big crash. We have to put the brakes on. There is a McLaren in the gravel. We've just seen that as we cut to it. It looked a bit dicey. We were following there in the background. And they turned in. And it was almost like Perez and Russell that time. But the McLaren is in the gravel. Oscar Piastri They are not happy, McLaren, as you can see. What's happened though to Piastri? Has he got up and running? I think he has, and he is. So no safety car. We continue on our way. And Porsche is just trying to break that second mark. 6 tenths at the moment. P11. We need Hamilton to get past Gasly to save some points here for our Williams team. 4 tenths. Magnussen is catching. We are going to push. See if we can just keep him behind. Albon is there as well, and they are investigating that incident between Piastri and Hulkenberg, but no penalties were given. And here comes a move for Albon, who's looking at the back of Hulkenberg. Let's just deploy down here. Let's go aggressive. Let's see if we can get the job done. Lap 5 of the sprint. Hulkenberg's going to be like deja vu again as he goes to the inside, and we are through. Lovely, lovely move there. And Porsche still got that Haas behind, 4 tenths of a second. But it's looking good so far. We are looking very good here in Austria. So not great from Porsche, who lost a place. He ran wide into the last corner. Oh, and that has dropped him big time. And I'm hoping that doesn't hurt his tyres too much. It hasn't. But he is well in trouble here, as he's got the Norris McLaren right behind him. We're not going to try and tackle this too much. But P12, I mean, we're setting ourselves up for the proper race. But this is not what we wanted. You can see the McLaren dives up the inside. Looks like they touch. But the McLaren has got us ahead, and it's turning into a bad lap. DRS is open for Pichère. Is he going to come back here at the McLaren? McLaren's defending. And all that hard work done by Porsche earlier in the race has come back to hurt him. But Porsche is back ahead, and there's a yellow flag for a crash. Haven't seen what that is now, as the McLaren looks like he's just get past us. George Russell. What happens here? It's going to be the same. Oh, it's a big hit. And that is some wing damage with the Aston Martin as well. They can see all the debris on the track. We're just running through it now. And it is Russell and Alonso. They're both carried on. Porsche's just lost out to that McLaren again. We've seen that happen as we got notified of the crash. And we are cooking the tyres a little bit, but we're hoping they're going to hang on. Russell is in the pit though. Wing damage, you can see that right hand end plate gone. No penalties given, so that is going to be to Williams moving on through. You can see him just in the background there. And we are into P12 and P13. So we're moving up. Accidents helping our situation. We are trying to close the gap. How's our tyres looking compared? I mean, we've used a lot more than everyone else, which is slightly annoying. We're going to move to standard because we're keeping them in good temperature, but just not closing this gap.
Okay, happy to manage tyre short term. Okay.
But I don't think they're going to be too bad. Let's just cut them down. We are gradually decreasing. We're going to start looking after them a bit better now as well. But let's see if we can get back past, as we are on lap number 30. And here he is again. Porsche. I mean, he's only lost out to his teammate, but he's making some mistakes today. After a decent qualifying for us, he's on his own. Oh, he just locks up. That's not going to help his tyre management. That might have to see him potentially come into the pits. Down at 41 now, and I think we're going to have to try and keep this place. We're going to move him to light. So frustrating. I don't think I'm going to last 7 laps. We're going to have to probably put him on conserve and see if he can just hold on to around 16, 17. That is frustrating for Porsche. So Russell, after his soft pit stop, through his wing, is absolutely flying out there, as you can imagine. Fresh set of softs, DRS, Mercedes engine, and he goes round the outside. He demotes Albon to P13. Albon trying to hold it back, but look at Porsche, man. He's struggling on these tyres now. We're going to try and coach it to the end. We've got back ahead of Russell, but surely this is not going to be for long. We are catching the two ahead as well, Magnussen and Norris, and we're just defending hard. We're going to survive at the moment. Leclerc has started. Look at that for a battle. Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari, Red Bull. Tyres are cold, but I can't really do anything. We're concentrating on the lead. Leclerc and Verstappen going at it. Verstappen getting a good pull out of the final corner of the sector 1. And he's going to stay ahead. I mean, I wish this was us. It'd be fantastic.
How many laps do we have?
But the Ferrari stays ahead. Albon's he's closed in on Magnussen. Porsche has dropped massively. We're going to move him to standard now. Well, can we keep ahead? But can we catch these two? And can we make a move? P11 would be nice. DRS is going to flick open now. And it's a four-way battle at the moment. P10, 11, 12 and 13. Looks like Gasly may be picking up a point in P8 in the sprint. But Porsche is going to long await this final lap. He's getting closed down by Hulkenberg, so he should only drop to P15 out of all of them. We're going to move him up to aggressive just to try and get some heat back. And Albon is defending. Just going to deploy.
Use the overtake.
God, we got a bit of fuel. Not massive though. And here we go. Final lap. Can we keep Russell behind? It's going to look slim. But down the straight we go.
One more lap.
And we are bang behind them at the minute. Let's just risk it, shall we? I mean, well, I don't want to move the tyres too much. This McLaren could be a sitting duck. It could be all systems go and change on this last lap. Can Albon move to the right-hand side? Oh my God, Porsche is going backwards again, but he's got no tyres. Let's just attack. Yeah, you know, why not? Try and gain that position. We've dropped Russell. We've got no ERS left. Porsche, we sent him to have a go. And at the minute, he's had a go, and he's done that nicely. He pushes him wide, but Porsche is back up to that P14. We've held off Russell by the look of it. Let's push that down. Because fuel is of principle. But Albon is gonna come along in P13. He's P12 even. He's gonna hold off Russell. Great racing, and Porsche is going to get himself, after a dodgy little race, through to P14. It's P12 and P14 in the sprint. So how about this for race day? Heavy rain. Heavy rain. I mean, it's asking me to start on hards. I don't like that. I mean, it is a dry start, and we're going to go softs. How far? I mean, I think we're going to have to go intermediates. And they can go to the end. I mean, we're going to stick that in for now, but I feel like it could be a wet run here. Let's do the same for Porsche. Softs. Let's edit it out and put on intermediates, and then we'll check later on whether or not we are going to be looking at a wet race. I can't see the weather at the moment, but let's get this on aggressive. This could be an interesting little race. We know tyres are probably not going to be an issue. We know we're going to have good fuel because of the rain, but I just can't see the weather massively, and it looks like it's definitely, I mean, that could be full wets. I think that's going to be full wets if I'm honest, but we'll change that in the race, because here we go. We can attack hard because of the weather coming in. It is go time here, and let's see how we do. We line up P12, P14, and Albon's got a decent start, but just got beat by the Mercedes. Russell quicker off the line, and we have survived turn 1. I think everybody looks like they've survived turn 1 at present, as we're looking at then end of sector 1, turn 2. Turn 2 into turn 3. And there is 3 cars wide. No dramas yet. Both Williams there together. Do not smash into each other. That is key. We're all single file with Porsche having a little look, and Porsche is going to take ahead of Albon. He's into P13 and P14. Now let's check this weather. Oh Jesus, that is intermediates. That will be full wets. That's going to be interesting. Actually, does it say about the track? Damp. It's going to go to damp in around 3 minutes. So this is going to be interesting. We've got both of these fighting. Who's ahead? Oh my God, I don't want this to happen. Don't fight, teammate. Let's just chill, calm down. And I tell you what, there's a move by Alex Albon past the McLaren. We'll take that. Into P12, but the McLaren is coming back at us. DRS enabled next lap. And look at that. Oh my God, everyone brakes, hammers on the brakes, and we somehow get P11. Multiple positions. I mean, that was a lunge and a half.
That's good.
Let's take a look. Because that was some serious blockage. It all started with Russell. And I tell you what, we got the McLaren and Russell in one corner. So brilliant move. Again, our rivals Gasly and Ocon are ahead of us at the moment. We're going to keep pushing because that wet weather is on its way. And that's going to be very interesting indeed. Let's see how it goes. But at the minute, we're trying to close down Magnussen. We're only 2 tenths. DRS to be enabled this lap as well. And here we go. Down the straight. Pulls to the right hand side. Doesn't have DRS, but sheer pace. And this could be a good move by Albon. The Haas defends. We've got the inside line. DRS is open. That's going to give us some extra horsepower. And Albon does get through to P10. We are into the points, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we need. 71 laps, remember. Long way to go. But Albon is ahead. We're going to stay on aggressive because I think...
Okay.
I definitely think that this weather
On the low side now.
is going to be there. And Porsche, well, let's see that. Looks like turn 3. DRS open for both. And it's a good move by Theo Porsche. He's back into P13. So, interestingly then, we're only on lap 3. Feels like I've been racing for ages with that sprint race. We've left the softs on aggressive. And it is getting pretty gloomy indeed. That rain is about to hit. When do we call the boys in though? When do we call? We know intermediates can go to the end. We know we're probably... Here comes the rain. That rain has started, but it's still a dry track at the moment. And Porsche is looking quick. And so is Albon. Albon pulls to the right. Getting slipstream from the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. Daddy Stroll can't do anything about this. And we are in to P9. We're ahead of the Aston Martin. And there's a big lock up in the background. It's the Haas who has gone off. We saw that. It is getting tricky out there now. But Porsche looks like he's just going to do battle here. And we're going to keep it. I mean, Albon's lost a position to Stroll. Porsche's got ahead. That rain is coming hard. I think we've got 1 lap maybe in it here. We've probably got 1 more lap before it starts streaming. What is it looking like? It's going to be like this the whole time. Surely this is going to be... It's going to be an intermediate run. Let's pit Albon, I think, for Inters. I mean, Albon looking at Stroll again.
We'll be boxing.
Here we go, lunging to turn 1. And I don't think I'm going to get Porsche in it as well. What is the gap? It's only 3.5 seconds. Let's attack. Let's deploy. He's ahead. And I think we can get him in here. So we are going to pit. We are going to go on to inters with both. We have got 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I think this is now. I think we do it now. This is the time to run. It is getting wet. This track's still dry though, but 0.78, this is going to turn to wet any second. Porsche is still, he's got a good gap between them, and I haven't pushed him. But now look, we've picked the right lap. I think we have picked the right lap. Everybody is in. And we've got a yellow flag. It's not Porsche.
Just be wary the pit entry is
Oh my god, look at this. This is going to be chaos. Magnussen ran wide. Everybody has pitted. I mean, Albon's looking good in P5, but that's going to soon change. So maybe we could have done this the lap before. Good stop needed. And we don't double stack. Albon is going to come out in P7, I think. That is a great team effort. And Alex Albon is up to P7. What a perfectly timed lap. And now we are P7 with Alonso behind us. Porsche has come out in P13. And it's time to let's see what happens. Is it going to go to wet later on in this race? We'll find out. Inters should go to the end. Ignore that strategy because they should still run. I think, although it's an early lap. Leclerc and Sainz are both in. They're the ones that carried on round. You can see them just slowly coming in. They're going to double stack as well. But I don't think we are going to get ahead of them. I mean, tyres struggling to get up to temperature here. And Russell's in as well. So Russell's in, Sainz is in, Sainz is coming out, Russell's coming out. We're going to jump Russell, I think, here. We're going to make very good ground. Where is Russell? There he is. And I think we are. I mean, Albon's up to 6th. Pit stop issue for Russell as well. And now tyres are just coming up to temperature.
You can afford to drop back.
And this is all change. These laps, I don't know if they're going to last to the end though. It looks a bit interesting. Has everyone gone to inters? Yes, they have. So it's going to be similar tyre life for all the cars. And we are sitting nicely in P6. You can see the cars. Russell lost out, Perez lost out, Gasly lost out, Ocon's up to P4. So this is not at Stroll down in P16. Obviously he had to take the 5-second penalty as well. So we're actually going to be looking pretty good here. P6 and P13. And Porsche is doing what he does best. He has not had his own way. We're not going to watch him struggle. We were in like P13. And Porsche messes up. And he's now down in P20. Oh, Porsche. Lost 7 positions. We might as well watch that.
Right, let's have a look now. Around turn 3. It's the
wow, he just puts the brakes on. He goes wide, gets a bit embarrassed, and Porsche is not looking good. What's not looking good is Albon, because he is now all over the back by Alonso. Remember, no DRS. Porsche's got a lot to do. We're going to try and hold the power unit. We're expecting to go behind these two, that's clear. So we'll let these run. And let's just don't fight teammate, take that off. Very low confidence. What do you expect when you've just binned it and you've lost 7 positions? But Albon's keeping ahead at the moment. But that Aston Martin is going to be a lot quicker on exit. And this could be game over for P6. He's going to go to the left. Albon sticks to the right. Who's going to be later on the braking? It is the Aston Martin. Oh, it's all racing hard. But Alonso, I think, has just pulled ahead. We're down to P7. And that P7 is going to quickly become P8 on lap 11. Because look at the man himself, Sergio Perez,
Okay, back on.
now coming through. And again, that Red Bull, as expected, dispatches us. We need Sainz to get past Ocon. We're going to keep our fuel nice and tidy for the minute. We'll push that later on. Weather's expected to be, this is going to be wet weather here. Absolutely wet weather. So we're going to just maybe hold for now and then we'll push a bit later on. Guess who's back on lap 25? Not a lot's happened. We're all over the back of by Russell. But Porsche, it's him again. He is not having a great few. Well, we've only had 24 laps, I think. And he's been off more times than he's been on. So he's not going well. Tyres definitely going to have to pit again, but I think it's going to be when we move to wets. Albon has got Russell behind. He's ahead of one Alpine. Ocon, he's falling back, but we've got a big gap, 9 seconds. We've got good fuel, which we're going to use probably a little bit later on here. Porsche's not had a great. We are going to use the latter ending, potentially when it gets wet here, and then we'll really start and push this car. But at the minute, we're going to look after the fuel, even though Russell and Gasly are both coming at us. So we're going to start pushing. We've got 2.5 kilograms left, and I think it's time to try and just eke out, because Russell's all over the back of us. Obviously everyone else probably used a lot more fuel at this point than we have. Obviously more fuel, heavier car. So we're going to try just push on here. Try and bring the gap down to Alonso and Perez, but we've got to keep Russell behind first. And that Russell is going to go to the outside. We go middle of the track, defend well. And Albon keeps ahead at present. Got a good exit as well from turn 3. About 5 tenths is the gap, but this fuel, because it's raining, we don't use as much. So we can probably just keep pushing. 9.9 now, so we got it back under 10 seconds. And if we can bring this all the way, have we got more news on? No, still going to be a wet track, so, well, damp track. The question is, does it change to wet at any point? That's going to be the interesting part, but 5 tenths is the gap on lap 32. And lap 35 sees us neck and neck with Russell. Russell's finally got us. He has just eked ahead. We are still pushing though. Look, we're not exactly took our pedal off. We're on standard looking after the tyres. We won't watch that because we don't want to bring the negativity. Porsche's on 57%. I think he's going to have to pit. No question about it. I think we're going to have to pit anyway because of this rain at lap 55. And we're potentially going to come in earlier, I feel, here. Let's see, though, if the track does change to wet, or will change to wet, because I think we'll gamble. And this is not great. We have now got Gasly. We are not performing well in the rain at the minute. Ocon's just span, so he's lost some time. We've got Nick de Vries ahead of us. You can see us just trying to hold on from Gasly, who's 2 tenths behind us. We're going to get past him. I mean, Porsche is about to be lapped as well at some point. But we're just going to keep an eye on this weather. Lap 55 is when we expect it to start increasing. And we're not going to get stuck again in the pits. So we're on lap 50 and you can see it's going to start increasing now. Is it going to change to a wet? It will in 5 minutes. So it is going to be, in 5 minutes time, a wet track.
Lift and coast.
We've got Albon about a second ahead. So we're going to have to, I want to pull the pin a lap earlier than everyone else. Everybody, remember, pitted for the intermediates on the same lap. Everyone double stacked. We just got away with it. I mean, Albon is about to lap Porsche in a moment, which is slightly embarrassing for him. But as soon as this weather starts to ramp up, I am boxing, especially with Porsche. I mean, at the moment, we're going to send him on an attack. Can he close the gap on this Alfa Romeo Zhou Guanyu? It's a little bit stuck behind him at the moment. Gasly's second behind now as well of Albon. You can see on the right hand side the damp track is at 1.62 millimeters at the moment as he slams the brakes on Porsche. He is not enjoying this race whatsoever. He needs to get in on the dry, that's for sure. 3 minutes. It is going to change to wet. So when this starts to react and starts to quickly catch up, because at the minute it's still 1.66, we will then push. Albon's in P9. This could be risky. We might be throwing it away here. But Albon's going to carry through. Pourchaire I'm going to pit next lap then. I think this is the lap we do it. And there, 3 minutes still. Remember, it's about a minute for a lap. Pourchaire, again, having a go at the Alfa Romeo. You can see both cars in fights of their own at different ends of the table. P9, P10 and P19 and P20. And it's 1.72 now. The question is, I don't want to get these boxing at the same time, and here comes the Alpine of Gasly, who just sneaks us ahead now. It's still pushing. Oh, do we just commit? I think I'm going to pit here. I'm going to risk it. Pourchaire's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's just
Nothing to lose. Gasly, I am now going to push. And I think I'm going to bring him in next lap. What's the weather doing now? 2 minutes. We're going to get Pourchaire in. Still 1.76. This is risky. We've never been in this situation before. We've potentially got it all to lose. And there's a car off. It's the Alfa Romeo, who is off. It was Joe running wide. Pourchaire now in the pit. And now, with the rain coming in, we are going to pit. I mean, we're going to give it a go. This could be absolutely destroying. But now, Albon, we're going to ask to push. As we're on lap 53, anything can happen. The rain is coming, and I just don't know if I've done the right thing here at all. We've risked Pourchaire, because why not? We're at the back anyway, in P19. We are now risking Alex Albon. And I'll make sure we are coming in, which we are. Past his pit stop, 13th. And I just don't know if this is the right call. It is a damp track. It is supposed to get wet in 1 moment. Or 1 minute. But Pourchaire is out. You can see it on the right hand side. It is starting to increase. 1.92 now. You can see a second it's going up. Literally a couple of bits. We're into twos. The rain is coming. That is certain. Albon is going to come in, and this is our risk. Whether or not we're going to do this right, I don't know. But lap 54, Gasly, we've got so much to lose. And we can see we are now in from P10. Good stop needed. Pourchaire is out there. And I'd like to say he's going to start gaining on the field ahead. We have risked it. Is everyone going to stay out on intermediates? The track is still damp, but you can see the rain is heavy at present. Pourchaire's been lapped, that's why he's closer to the field. And you can see the tyre's actually pretty hot now as well. So maybe we've gone early with Pourchaire. Albon is out in P13. Obviously cold tyres as well. Need to cool these down a bit, because they are hot, but it is surely got to be a wet track any moment. In 4 minutes it's changed. Damn it. This might not be a risk that we have done well. But behind us, they are in the pit. We need this track to keep getting wet. Everyone is in the pits. We pulled the trigger. I think it was worth doing, because look at them all pitting. We went a lap earlier with Albon. We went for the undercut here in Austria with decent tyres as well. And this was our one chance of doing it. Everyone is actually filtering out the pits. But Gasly we were right with, remember. And he's just hitting his pit now. He's got the wet tyres on. Albon is coming around the final corner. And are we going to jump Gasly? Or was it a wrong choice to make? We are moving up the field. And I tell you what, Gasly. There he is, and we are ahead. We have done. We pitted a lap earlier. We have got ahead of Gasly into P9, and we've got hot tyres, but he's got cold tyres, remember.
You can afford to drop back.
This is going to be interesting. Porsche is struggling on tyre temperature as well.
Yeah. Deploy.
102 degrees, they are hot, hot, hot. And are we going to manage this well? Albon is there. A couple of cars now in the pits as well. Sainz has had a pit stop issue, but it's not going to affect us. And we currently are sitting in P9. 2 seconds ahead of Gasly. That undercut worked a treat because we were behind him coming in. But if we're going to finish anywhere, it's going to be P9 or P10 because Russell is 8.2 seconds up the road. And that is changing all the time. The track is still registered as damp though. And you can see Porsche has got the Aston Martin ahead, or behind him. And now the track has changed to wet. Track is wet. And Gasly looks like he must have made a mistake because he's 6 seconds behind now. No, it's gone to 2.6, so it's a bit messed up. A bit buggy. Well, this surely can manage these tyres. And we've got good gap. There's 15 laps to go. Alonso's in the pits from P2. We've still got 9.8 seconds. I don't think we're going to manage it. Fuel is... We can run fuel rich. No problem. It's hanging on here. You can see tyres are slightly hot at 92 degrees. But we've still got 2.4 seconds. And we've still got 9.8 to the car ahead. I just don't think we're going to catch George Russell. Or, in fact, anyone else. So, Ocon might get a few points on us for Alpine with Gasly in P10 as well. Tyres are starting to come down. I don't mind them being in that 90 degrees. Fuel is on the limit as well. We'll balance that off for a moment.
Increase lifting coast.
But 2.3 seconds is the gap with 15 to go. So track has changed to damp then. We are on lap 70 out of 71. You can see that weather just reducing down now, so it is going to be back into the intermediate range. You can see on the track that we have Mr. Albon in P9 with a nice 5-second gap. Nothing's really changed in this race. It would be great if Lance Stroll did get ahead of Gasly, who seems to be really struggling, and if Russell did get Ocon. There is plenty of chances that we're going to take some points reduction. Well, Alpine are not going to move as far as ahead, we should say. But it's time to shine for these two. Albon's well clear. 2 laps to go for him. Obviously, short lap round here. Russell is right behind. And you can see the tyres are struggling now as well because of the weather conditions changing to damp. Porsche is right behind Piastri as well, looking for a move. There's a lot of movement out there. Russell's 4 tenths. Stroll is 2 tenths. We are on, or the rivals are on, the final lap. But Porsche is looking at the back. We're going to deploy out of that sector 1. Tyres are hot. We know that would be the case. Can Porsche take some pride and get back into P17? He's going to look for a move, but can't get it done. Still, Stroll fighting Gasly, Russell fighting Ocon. Come on, we need one of these to get through. Move them down a bit. But I don't think it's going to happen. Albon's in a world of his own. Hot tyres, but there's nothing we can do. Porsche is only a tenth behind, coming into the last corners.
This will be the last lap.
And I don't think he's going to get it. There's the Ferrari of Leclerc, so we've got 1 more lap to go. Leclerc wins. We are trying to push past, so I don't think we're going to do it. Let's cut Albon down, because he's on his own. Russell is 4 tenths behind. Stroll 6. I think that battle has run its course. It is looking like Porsche is going to stay P18 after a rough race. It looks like Albon's going to pick up 2 points potentially for us as well. Porsche can't get through either at the moment. Russell is only 2 tenths behind. He is all over the back of the Alpine of Ocon, but I don't think he's going to get the job done. It's only a tenth. Don't think there's going to be a lunge. I mean, they're so close out the last corner. It's going to be a race to the line, but I think he's going to hold on. It is the Alpine that holds on to P7. Bad news for us that. P9 for Albon, though. It's some more points in our battle with the Haases and the AlphaTauris. Porsche, difficult race. He had the better qualifying after Albon went out. It's not going to be a great race for him. It is P18 for Porsche. Albon, P9. He got the runner. And that was a tricky race with the weather.
What a dreadful day.
And that is 10 races complete this season. You can see Alex Albon up 3 places. Did 2 stops with tricky weather. Porsche was down 4 as he did get lapped. So in the championship, you can see Esteban Ocon moving out. We've got Alex Albon on at a massive 11 points. And in the Constructors' Championship, we stay P6. Alpine gaining 7 points on us. That is what we didn't want, and we're over double the points behind at the moment. But most importantly, we are ahead of Haas, AlphaTauri, McLaren, and Alfa Romeo. So P9 for Albon again. Practice he was 6th. Qualifying he had that massive efforts that didn't materialise, and we had to settle for what we settled for. Money coming in for an Albon finish, and we head to Great Britain next time round. The car, rear wing fail, and we're actually going to move on to, you can see top speed struggling. That's the way the parts have gone lately, so we've got a bit of trouble on that point, but it's not looking too good. So engineer and driver retention, that's interesting. We'll work that one out, but for now we're sitting good. We've got the Silverstone, the British GP coming up as well, but for now we are still P6 after a few more points.